The nice thing about Photoshop is that you can duplicate layers. So if I know I need it to be the same size, now obviously we might have to make them a little bit smaller for 12, but we can actually highlight all the layers and reduce them all at the same time. So let's just continue on. So let's go to the layer that has the box. Remember, we do want to label your layers. One, that's worth points. Two, it helps keep you organized. I'm super big on organization. I have labels on my jump drives, color code my folders, depending on if they're graded or not graded, and things like that. So organization is really going to be helpful because you're going to have a lot of layers by the time you're done with this file. So let's go to that layer that has that. Mine's called SMIS box, whatever you called yours, and we're going to hit Command J. Now you'll notice in your layers, and your layers is on your right over here, you should see your you should see your layers, but if you don't, you can go up to Window, Layers, or hit F7. But if you see a check mark by layers, that means that your layers window is already open. You just probably have to click on a different tab. And then I'm going to change that, and we're going to change it to the next game they played is LSU. So I'm going to call it LSU box. Yeah. Command J to copy. Select the layer you want to copy, and then hit Command J and it'll copy it, and we'll say LSU box. So we know it's the LSU box. Now we don't see it because when you copy a layer, it's going to go to exactly where that layer is. So remember, just like in Adobe Premiere and InDesign and Illustrator, you do have to use your move or selection arrow to move things, or you can use your keypad. You'll notice if I hold the down arrow on my keyboard, it's moving it down, or I can use the move arrow and drag it down. And now Photoshop now has these smart guides. That's what these pink lines are. They're trying to say that you are pulling it down and the edges are right next to each other and they're equal, so I can let go. And now what I would do is I would go cut out the LSU logo. So I'm going to open up the LSU logo. So again, to copy that, you just hit Command J. So if I wanted to, I could make the next box. So I'm going to hit Command J. And their next game after LSU is Northwestern. So I can call it Northwestern. Remember to rename the layer. It's just like renaming a folder on a Mac. Click, click, and I can say Northwestern box. And then I can drag it down or move it down with the arrow. And it's going to also tell me that they're equal. So it's very nice. They used to not have this in Photoshop, but you'll notice it's saying it's 0.264 inches away from each box, so that way they're even, which is very nice. So again, I'm going to go get the LSU logo. So I'm going to go File, Open, or Command O to open. Command O to open is the same command for Microsoft Word, so if you know how to do that, you know how to do it in here. So I'm going to go find that LSU logo. Now some of them are already cut out, some of them aren't. This one is not cut out because it has that white background. So it's just like we did in our previous times, which I know was a while ago. But we're going to use a selection tool. Your selection tools, remember your tools are on your left. The top section where it has that horizontal line and up are what we call your selection tools. You'll see a paintbrush that looks like it has dotted circle. Some people like that because it is a quick selection. We need to convert it to RGB, so it's saying it won't let us edit it until then. So if you have the LSU open, it said it wouldn't let us do the quick selection unless we change the color mode. Remember, there's different modes for color. If you send an RGB color file to a newspaper, it will come out in black and white. If you send a photo to a newspaper and it's CMYK, it'll print in color. So your computer monitor reads RGB, which is red, green, and blue. So we're going to go ahead and go up to Image, Mode, and then we're going to change it to RGB color so we can edit it. So again, let's open up the LSU file. You should have put them all on your jump drive. If not, you can download it. And we're going to say Image, Mode, RGB. Now with this quick selection, some people like the quick selection because you can click and hold and drag to the places you want. Me personally, I'm a wand person. I like the wand, but some people like this one. I'm not a big fan. So I'm actually going to go behind the quick selection, click and hold. Remember, in Photoshop or other software like InDesign or Illustrator, if you have a triangle at the bottom corner, it means that you have tools behind it. They're just trying to save on space. So I'm just going to click and hold behind that paintbrush, and I'm going the dotted paintbrush, the dotted circle with the paintbrush, and I'm going to get the magic wand. Magic wand selects like colors, and I can hold the shift key, and you'll notice when you press the shift key, on the bottom left there's a plus sign, and that means you're adding to the selection. So I'm going to click on all the white areas I need to add to the selection, and then I'm going to select the inverse, because the inverse is going to be what I really want to get, copy. You can go up to the select menu, which is going to change how you select things, or if you like hotkeys like myself, Shift Command I selects inverse, and it does it very quickly. Then I can copy it. The hotkey for copying in Microsoft Word on a Mac is Command C. You're correct. So I can hit Command C. Now I will warn you, some of our keyboards are not the greatest. So if you look up here, when I hit Command C, you'll notice that the edit window flashes blue for a second. It means it actually copied. If you don't see that flash of blue, it means that you probably did not copy, and you need to go up to the Edit Copy menu, because some of our keyboards aren't the greatest. So I hit Command C, Edit window, or the Edit menu highlighted blue around Edit, which means I did copy. To get back to my other image, I just click on the top where it has the other word, and I'm going to then paste it. Command V to paste, and it pastes it on its own layer. So now I can click on that layer, and where it says Layer 1, click, and I'm going to say LSU. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to call it LSU logo. I like to logo. So one more time on that LSU. So we opened up our LSU file. If you don't have it, you can download it from the tutorial online. Remember, we were supposed to download all of them. I think most of you downloaded all of them. So I'm going to click with the magic wand. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4 tools down, generally your Photoshop is going to be set up for what we call the quick selection. If you like that tool, you can use that. I just like the magic wand. So I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to get that magic wand. I'm going to click once on that white background, but I need to add to the white background and get the other white background. So to add to the white background, you're going to hold the Shift key and click, and then I'm going to click in between the S with the Shift key holding, and now I've selected all of the white. Now to get to the inverse, we're just going to hit Shift Command I, or you can go up to Select Inverse. You can go up to the Edit menu and say Copy, or you can hit Command C. You saw it flash blue up there by the edit, so I know I copied it. Then I can close it out, and then I can go to the other one and hit Command V to paste or Edit Paste. Now we do need to make the logo smaller. So I should have gotten the Northwestern logo, but I think it's because I just made my last box was the LSU box. But so I'm going to grab the logo. Again, we have to use the move or selection arrow, which is up top. And then I'm going to grab the LSU logo, and it's the third game. So if you haven't made the third box, you can make another box. Remember, to make another box, you just hit Command J, and then it makes the other box. You can use the move arrow to drag it down. Woo. You can use the move arrow to drag it down. And when you see that it's giving you all those boxes with the numbers, it means that you have it evenly distributed. And then this could be my other box, which would be Auburn. So no, LSU is the second one. I was right. My bad. So it's Southern Miss, LSU, Northwestern, and then Auburn. So this would be my Auburn box. All right, so LSU is the second game. I was wrong. It was so long ago. We're going to click on the tiger. Make sure we're on the logo layer. You can tell you're on the logo layer because 1, you clicked on it. 2, it's a darker color. So with that move arrow, I'm going to grab the LSU tiger, move them up to the second box, and I'm going to hit Command T. Now remember, Command T allows you to adjust the size of the item, but you want to adjust it proportionally. You don't want to make their tiger fatter, you don't want to make their tiger skinnier or taller, so there is a certain way that you do have to transform it. When you hit the Command T, it brings up the box with those squares on it, meaning like now you can adjust the size. So you can go and hold the shift key and go from the corner, and you'll see it goes to a double-sided arrow. The curvy arrow means it rotates him so he can move left or right. If you go to the corner where it's a slanted arrow, it means that you can adjust it proportionally and he's not going to get skinnier or chubbier. And I'm doing that by holding the shift key, and then I'm clicking and dragging inward. Dragging inward makes your logo smaller, and I can move it to see if he fits in the box. He needs to probably be a little bit bigger. Well, I think on theirs they had it where the logo was inside of it, but so we'll make it a little bit smaller. Command T again, so the same thing. If you didn't do it, Command T, hold the shift key, go to the corner, double-sided arrow, pull inward, and hit the return key to apply your transformation. And I can use the arrows on my keyboard or the arrow, the move arrow, to move the LSU. So I'm going to do that with the Southern Miss Eagle to show you. So I'm going to hit Command T, and I'm going to hold the shift key, pull inward, and make it a little bit smaller. Use the arrow keys to move it up, and now I have my logo, and I'm going to hit save. Now the nice thing about Photoshop is if you have these elements inside one document, you don't necessarily have to have these items in a folder to go back to, but you do have to do that in InDesign and Illustrator. Now I like to keep all the logos and items I use for a graphic in one folder in case there's a problem and I need to go back and redo something. Having everything in that folder will make your life a little bit easier. So after Southern Miss is Northwestern State. So let's grab the Northwestern State logo. So File, Open, Northwestern State logo, and I'm going to say Open. An interesting cat of some sort. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use either the magic wand or the quick selection will be your quicker options. There are other selection options you can do. However, these are the quickest for this situation. So if I click and hold on the magic wand, I can click once on the white background. And the nice thing about this logo is you can see the white goes all the way around and it's selecting everything even inside the N because the N isn't connected. Yeah. A new logo, just File, Open, just like Microsoft Word, you're opening that file, so File, Open, and then pick the Northwestern logo. Or you already have it on your big file right there, I see, right? So just go to the layer that's on, and then just use the magic wand on there, and then just hit delete for you. So find where that logo is on your bigger one, and then hit on the white, and then hit delete. Now for us, we can't hit delete because there's no background layer. It's going to ask you about content aware. So that's why it doesn't work for us, but it would work for Lance because he has this logo already on the football full screen graphic. So we're going to want to select the inverse. So again, that's Shift Command I for inverse. Or you can go up to the select menu up top and you can say select inverse and it'll select the inverse. Now I need to copy, so edit copy. What's it saying? This object is what? Say OK. Go up to Layer, Rasterize, and whatever option you have. Do you have Shape, Layer, Rasterize is kind of in the middle. Yep, hit that. Now try it. There you go. Alright, so now I'm going to paste it just like we did the other one. Command V to paste or edit paste. Then we're going to transform it. So you'll see there's repetition in this. So I'm going to label my layer since it's here. I'm going to call it Northwestern. And then I'm going to transform it. Command T to transform. Remember, we want to do it proportionately. So holding the Shift key, moving your arrow to the corner. So you see the slanted double-sided arrow. Click, hold, and drag inward. And then I need to make it probably smaller because it's a vertical logo. And then I'm going to drag it down. Need to make it a little bit smaller. Hit the return key to apply it and your arrow key to move it. So I can probably make it a little bit bigger. So Command T to make my little N a little bigger. return key to apply it, and I'm going to make sure I have that box near it. I like having the Northwestern box near the Northwestern logo, the Southern Miss box near the Southern Miss logo. It's just what I like to do. I like to keep things organized. You wouldn't guess that by my office because I store so much equipment in there for the university, but remember to drag your layers. All you have to do is click on the layer and drag it, and now you can see I have my stuff in order. The box for the logo, the box for the logo, the box for the logo. So you can hit Command S to save because we're basically out of time. I can do the Auburn one in case you need to see me do it again. So I'm going to go and say File Open. Whoops, not Browse in Bridge. Bridge is a software that allows you to look at a variety of photos in different locations and make them larger or smaller. So I'm just going to go File Open. And the next game is Auburn, so I'm going to grab the Auburn logo and say Open. So again, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to hit the magic wand. Remember, it's behind the quick selection, but if you use it once, it should stay there. Click once on the white background. I'm going to hold the Shift key and add the center of the A and the outside edge by the U and the A. Then I'm going to say Shift Command I to select inverse. You will notice that now it is still selecting the TM and this text on the bottom. So I don't want that. So to get rid of that, I'm going to use the selection tools together. So before we used selection tools together with the football player, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to get the lasso, and I'm going to hold the minus, which is the option, and I'm going to say minus this selection, and now you only have the Auburn logo. So I'll do that again. So we opened it up, we use the magic wand, hold the Shift key, like we did in the previous ones, to add to the selection, to get all the white. Whoops. Whoa. Hold the Shift key. Now I'm going to hit Shift Command I, or Select Menu Inverse. You can see, though, it does have the trademark little thing on the bottom in the text. So we're going to get rid of that by going to our lasso tool. We want to use the regular lasso, or you could even use this marquee tool. All you have to do is hold the Option key down and select what you want to get rid of. Hold the Option key down, drag the box over the TM, and it got rid of it. Now I can copy this, edit copy, or Command C. Then I can go back to where my Auburn box is and say Command V to paste. It pastes it on a new layer. You want to keep things organized. Also, it is worth points to label your layers. So if you click on that layer where it says Layer 1 or whatever the new layer is, click on the text. You can say Auburn logo. And then I can make it smaller. What's the hotkey to make it smaller? Yes, Command T, and then it brings up that box with those squares, and then you're going to hit the Shift key, move to the corner where you see a double-sided slanted arrow, hold the Shift key down, drag it in, drag it in. When you get it to the size you want it, hit the Return key, and you can use the arrows to move it. If you want to get rid of marching ants, you can go up to Select and say Deselect. Or you can hit Command D as in deselect, and it'll deselect the marching ants. So this is basically what we're going to be doing. It's repetition. So I'd be doing the next box, the next logo, the next box, the next logo.